My first guest here at the Navigant Credit Union Broadcast Center is Yanine Castedo, who is with the Young Democrats of Rhode Island and actually, come on in, was just awarded the Young Organizer of the Year. So congratulations, that's a big honor. When did you find out?
I found out about a week ago when I was taking my little brother a shower, and they had called me, and I didn't know if this was like some kind of phone prank, so I just told them, like, email me anything you need to, I'll give it to you the next day. So they sent me some questions, but I guess it wasn't clear that the questions were actually to announce that I was being awarded this privileged honor, and I was so excited because then I was like, oh, whoa, I'm the recipient.
I've got the award. I'm going to play a little bit closer over here so we get in shot. And we were talking a little bit in the green room before you came in, because I just want to introduce to folks who you are. Student at the Met, student at CCRI, off
Right.
to the races. I mean, unbelievable. So let's talk a little bit about where you are, education standpoint. You're off to the races, going for the college degree, and you're only 17.
Right, exactly. So I did a dual enrollment program, graduating with about 30-something credits, so I have about 8 more classes left, and then I could be a junior at URI. So that will be within a year from graduation, and I'm also excited to do my valedictorian speech at my school as well.
Fantastic. Oh, I did see a little post of yours on Facebook. Drake quotes in the
Yeah, well, gotta keep it relevant, gotta keep it fun, yes, of course.
I did see that. I thought that was great. So how did you get involved with politics? Here you are, Young Organizer of the Year, only 17, can't even vote yet.
Right.
But, you know, let's talk about how you got involved, and it actually plays into something you've been working on this year in the state as well. So
Right.
go back to the beginning of high school and explain to folks how you got bit by the bug.
Right, so basically I was a freshman at the Met High School, and I was just starting out, and there was this really big hot topic about kneecap and how we were forced to be tested into it before we graduate, because if we didn't pass kneecap we couldn't get our diploma. So really our education and our future depended on this test, and so of course a lot of us young folks were like, we don't really want to go through that, let's change it so that when it comes our time we don't have to go through these obstacles of getting that diploma that we have earned through previous years. And I was working with Providence Student Union because they were automatically in my school. They were having weekly meetings, and a friend of mine that was a junior at the time was like, yeah, just come to the meetings, it'll be great, there's snacks, there's food, you'll love it. And I came, and then I started working on posters, we were doing protests, we were facilitating meetings, I was able to talk to other folks and, you know, kind of just fight what I really believed in, and I believe that our degrees, our diplomas shouldn't depend on this one testing process.
And you've been up at the State House. How many times have you testified up at the State House?
Oh, 3 or 4 times, yeah. I mean, probably every session I go and testify for something that I love, so.
So talk to us a little bit about this session, sort of the big things, and as I mentioned, only 17, automatic voter registration.
Right, so automatic voter registration, yes, I can't vote right now because I'm 17, but I still believe that young folks should have a vote. And if that means that our numbers of being registered show to adults that we are interested, that we want to vote, and that we're patient enough to wait, then maybe that could help us in the future with taking youth serious when we do go to the polling site, because we do want our voices to be heard. Even though we're new at this, it doesn't mean that we don't have the knowledge and the patience to learn more and to really make a say out there. So automatic voter registration, it'll make government more accessible, it'll make it more clear and efficient. And just really, you go to the DMV, you're already going to get your license, your ID, might as well just opt into being registered to vote.
And how involved, as you're a senior in high school, you're at college, do you think young folks are very politically involved, and do you think this past election cycle really played a big role in it as well?
Definitely. I think that if we had a lot of more young folks out there, you know, even not just young folks, even just people that were available to go vote, maybe not on that Tuesday, maybe if we had early person voting, that would have helped out, that would have changed a lot of the numbers, because, you know, there is a population, there's a demographic that isn't being heard because of how specific our government is and how many barriers they kind of put in front of us, even though they need to be hearing from us and they need to know what our voices are and what our opinions are, because our public concerns do matter.
And what are the other big hot topic issues you're keeping a close eye on this session? Again, only 17, but you're an organizer, you're organizing. What's been on your plate? What are the big items?
So definitely automatic voter registration. They're actually doing a judiciary committee votes tomorrow, Wednesday, so I'll be at the State House again, showing my support, bringing some young folks, bringing people that really care about it, and having the numbers out there so that they know that, vote for us, vote for the people that are pushing for this and that have been pushing for this for prior years as well. So that's happening tomorrow, Wednesday. And another stuff was our early person voting. We really want to make sure that voting happens and it's accessible to everybody, even if you can't make it to the polling site, that you still some way get across your vote, because yes, your vote does matter. And I mean, there's a bunch of other legislation that we go out. There's some stuff for school infrastructure that we're working on, and just education in general. That's kind of like my platform is education, because I'm so involved right now and I'll still be in education for a while, and I feel like this is a time to really work on it.
So speaking of time, it's funny, when I asked you to come in on the show and I tossed out some dates, you're like, yeah, Tuesday'd probably be best.
Right.
And I'm assuming because you're going to be up at the State House on Wednesday and Thursday. So active, still in high school, again, the dual enrollment with college. What are you looking to continue to study, and then, what are you looking to do after graduation, after college graduation?
Right. Well, political science is something that I definitely want to study more in, and public policy, if I could get a master's in that too, that would be great. Since I'm graduating early, I'll have the time for it. But even beyond college, during high school, I was working a lot with this activism. I was volunteering every weekend, going to protests, going to the State House. And I guess for college, it'll be something a little bit more different. I'm hoping that I can be more involved. I'm hoping to maybe run for a city council, run for the ward that I currently live in Central Falls. It's such a small place, but I love the community, I love the culture there, and I'm hoping that one day I can represent it. So.
And you said, what, you work at a diner in Central Falls?
Yes,
Where
I
do you
work
work?
at George's Diner. It's very small. It's a mom and pop restaurant, and basically everyone goes there over the weekend. So after Sunday Mass, you kind of meet all the folks. I met old mayors of Central Falls. I met some other political folks, and they always give me the great advice of, yeah, you should run because more women should be in political positions and more people of color should go. So I try to encourage that too, just for even young folks. Like, yeah, go out there, definitely take up space at the table, make your voice heard, and don't let anyone try to talk over you, because, you take the space. You have to.
And so do you think you want to stay in Rhode Island after graduation?
Well, I love Rhode Island. I love the culture here, and it's so small that I know everybody, so I think I want to stay in that tight-knit community, especially in politics, because politics is like in everyone's plate, in everyone's life, and Rhode Island, I love it. So yeah, I think I would stay in Rhode Island.
Politics is local. We're always talking about young folks staying here, staying in state. What do you think of the state of politics on the national level with the Trump administration? How have you seen this impact folks that and you're, again, coming from the young Democrats of Rhode Island perspective. Here we are in May. What's your take so far, and what do you see happening for the rest of the year in terms of, from the Democratic's perspective, as you continue to fight with the president?
Right. Well, I think at this point, we could fight and fight and fight, but we really just need to talk and make sure that everyone has a platform that they can also say something and for it to be heard. I think a lot of it is like framing and messaging. For me personally, yeah, education's a really big deal. Like, that's the one thing I really don't want to be touched. I want it to just be improved and have reform in the positive way for public schools, charter schools, at the college level, at the high school level. And I don't think anyone would stand against children. I think we all want to support our students and have them go higher in education. At the national level, hopefully one day I make it there. And Washington, D.C., I just visited for the first time like a few weeks ago. And I fell in love.
How was the trip? No, you were down there for a big national conference, yes?
Yes, and I loved it. I saw the monument. I took a bunch of selfies, of course. I posted it on my Snapchat, and it was beautiful. And just like Rhode Island, it's a very small place. It's kind of like a bubble of politics, and of course that's like my dream.
You're like, I just want to get in that bubble.
Right. At one point, I want to go in there, and I want to just talk to a bunch of folks and gain the experience, know certain sides, and work on education, really work on immigration reform as well. I think that with my background, a lot of people in my family, have struggled with education, and getting their papers. And so that's something where I have grassroots in, and I want to continue working on that because that is kind of where my expertise are at. And like I said, I'm 17, so I mean, I'm hoping I can do more in the future, and I'm still young, maybe I might change my mind, but
you've been bitten by the political bug. I guess you're only 17, but again, you finished that year at CCRI, you're off to the races. Now, with the Met and with CCRI, will you be doing school this summer, or will you have some transition time?
Well, I'm hoping that for the summer I can figure out really what I want to do. So I guess when I turn 18, then I could be eligible to run for office, and I'm hoping that I can do that. But I can't do that alone, so I'm hoping to, go out and network and continue more work with other youth, get them involved, get them interested, because at the very least, you don't really have to know the governor of every state, but at least know your local government, who represents you on your block, on your street, where you live, and know that you can talk to that person, that they're not some big figure that you can't contact. They have an office. You can totally walk in. You're their constituent, and they should hear you.
So you say when you turn 18, I see a confluence of numbers here. We're 17 and 17. 18 and 18 maybe might run for something in 18?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that, there's a program out there called Emerge Rhode Island that help women that are Democrats to run for office, and I'm hoping I can do that. There's also some connection that I have with Emily's List, which is a national organization that also helps women run for office, and so hoping I can do that over the summer. Of course, work, save up for college, and live a normal, young life. But
you have your plate full, and I'm glad that you had the opportunity to come in today. Wanted to just talk with you again. The Young Organizer of the Year with the Young Democrats of Rhode Island will be honored at the Kennedy Awards in June here in Providence, named after Robert F. Kennedy in terms of celebrating leadership among young Democrats. The Young Organizer of the Year here in Rhode Island, Yanine Castedo. I appreciate your coming in today. Keep an eye out for this one. I'm sure we'll be hearing lots more from her, so I appreciate your coming in and talking. And we'll talk soon. Okay, good luck with school and with everything. Thank you so much.